Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris from T3 Handicapping. Today is February 19th, 2025, looking at a race here from Gulfstream Park. So this is going to be race 7. Just like in previous videos, I've kind of already done the capping. So really, we're just going to kind of run through it. If you want the thorough explanation of kind of how this process goes, you can go check out the first video in this series, and that will take you through. So let's take a look at the 7th race from Gulfstream Park. This is going to be race number 7, going a distance of just over a mile, so a mile 70. It's on the all-weather surface. It's a claiming non-winners of 3 condition, race rating of 79. You can see we've got our horses. So I went through and I did my stack rank over on the right-hand side. You can see I came out to 6, 5, 7, 1, 3, 4, 2. I did a quick elimination of both the 4 and the 2. You can see that the 2 Selecto has a 0% jockey and trainer, so that's an easy elimination, especially with no key categories. And then the number 4 horse, Las Olas, we have a 1.9 jockey and a 0% trainer. Again, no relevant top 3 finishes. Both of them score as a 0 in top rank, so that makes things pretty easy to dispatch of. Then we go to, with those 2 out, we have a new stack rank of 6, 5, 7, 1, 3. And then we go and look through our stack rank to see if we want to make any adjustments. I made an adjustment. It's pretty negligible. I moved the 7 over the 5. The main reason is that at Gulfstream Park, I've talked about this quite a bit, our key categories here are going to be stamina, class, and record. I forgot to make those gold today, so I'll do that. There you go. So these are kind of the key categories that I'm looking at. You can see that the 1 is not first in any of those categories. The 5 is tied for first in record with a 50, but the 7 also is close with a 40 and is the top stamina horse. So I decided to move that one up. In the end, it didn't really matter because in the end, they all ended up kind of in the same place. So that's how I made this little switch here. But again, as you can see from my actual pick grid, it doesn't mean much in the end. So I went back and forth. First and second tier, I really think are likely to win this. But again, I like to keep tickets kind of small, so I couldn't really decide between the 6, the 7, and the 5. I think all are equally as likely. Maybe not equally as likely, but I think all have a really good chance to win the race. And so I went back and forth. I did originally have a couple, all 3 horses up in first. I even, for a brief period of time, tried just the 6, 7. Just didn't like the way things came out. So sometimes you kind of got to tinker around with your selections a little bit. Eventually, I decided to lock into the 6. I like the tactical speed, especially with a couple other speed horses in. It's good to be forwardly placed on the all-weather. Not that you can't come from out of it, but it does seem like you want to be kind of forward and tactical, and I think that one's going to be able to get that trip. So just because of trip, I ended up leaning into that one. This one ultimately will play for $10 at odds of 2 to 1 or better, just because I do think there's a lot of possibilities. You can see I'm taking fair value of $12 on a 6, 5, 7 box. So I'll take any of those for 12 actually, because I'm boxing. I want to up that to 18. If I were just playing the 6 on top, then it would be 12. That's kind of my general rule. But because I'm boxing, I want to at least get enough value. So if I'm going to put 6 into the investment, I want to make sure that I return at least 18. I'll probably get priced out of some of those combinations, and that's okay with me. In my try, I'll get back to locking into the 6 to keep the cost down. So 6 with 5, 7 with 1, 5, 7 for $8. That is actually incorrect. That would be $4. So 6, 5, 7, 1, 5, 7 for $4, and then 6 with 5, 7 with 1, 5, 7 with 1, 5, 7, 3 in the superfecta, just again using the straight stack rank there to go through and to make those tickets. So that's how I plan to play the 7th at Gulfstream. I will say, given that this race only has 7 runners to begin with, things are going to be pretty tight. So if there's any scratches, this race becomes a little less playable, particularly because I'm already covering a lot of the top of the market. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how things play out to see if this race remains playable. But at least as of right now, that's the way we're going to look at things. If you want more horse racing coverage this week, Betting News has you covered, horses.betting news. You can get Saturday cards from Gulfstream Park in Santa Anita, Sunday cards from Aqueduct, and then you'll notice that I've moved Oaklawn over to the Sunday cards because it was announced that the Rebel Stakes will be moving from Saturday to Sunday based on some of the weather that's supposed to be going through Arkansas. So just be aware of that change in the schedule. Horses.bettingnews.com will have full card analysis for all of those. So, best of luck on this Wednesday of racing and all of your horse racing investments. And of course, as always, cash those tickets.